Reggilar Show. Today, we're going to be, basically, we're going to go down every Gen 6 fully evolved Pokemon.
Right. Except for Legendaries.
Except for Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde. They're all okay. Xerneas rules. We're not going to be talking about any of the Megas. The Megas are all usable in some way. Some are better than others.
Like, those are the neat thing that they added in for old Pokemon. It gives them interesting moves and stuff.
Yeah.
But the interesting for us is the new Pokemon.
They're new suits on old Pokemon, so they're not as interesting to talk about. But, yeah, so we'll be going down each new one.
Let's get started.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so, Chestnut's the first one up.
Chestnut, yeah.
Starter Pokemon fully evolved.
I like Chestnut. I don't think he's that great.
No, his move pool's not that great.
No.
It's actually, I actually think he has a pretty good move pool. He's
Really?
got Hammer Arm, Wood Hammer, Seed Bomb, Spikes, Poison,
Spiky Shield.
Spiky Shield. He's got Poison Jab, Aerial Ace. He's got Earthquake, Stone Edge. I believe he has. I mean, it's not horrible. It's a pretty solid move pool. I just think that as a defensive Pokemon, I don't think his typing's that great.
No.
And I think Breloom's able to make it
He's
work.
a better grass fighter.
Yeah, because he's a very offensive Pokemon. But I just don't. His defense is good. His attack's good. Special defense shit. He's a little bit slow.
Air Slash is the special defense flying move. That's
Right.
kill
Yeah.
him.
I can see him maybe being a spiker in UU. Because he gets spikes. That's about all I could see him doing. He's okay though. I like the design, but
Chestnut.
Yeah.
He wasn't my starter, so.
I wasn't my starter either.
you guys both did Greninja, right? Yeah. Okay.
Next.
Yeah, I mean, the fire starter.
Delphox.
So did you guys see Delphox? Am I the only one that used all three?
I mean, we all got all three, but I didn't ever use her.
I think the main consensus was it was slow as piss and it was very unimpressive.
it was the worst of the three.
I said that. No, I do agree that I still agree that it's the worst. That Braixen is horrible. I don't know what is up with that, but I was bitching to you about how horrible Braixen was. Once we got into Delphox, it got a lot better.
Yeah.
It's pretty fast at that point. It hits for a lot of damage. It just, its move pool's okay. This is definitely a really okay move pool.
Mm-hmm.
It just
its ability too.
Its ability we were
that
testing.
out.
Yeah, it doesn't work with Fire Gem. So
Because you use the fire gem and then you try to
Yeah.
take the other thing, it doesn't.
It doesn't work. It's like you think it would.
yeah. So
Derp.
yeah.
Next, or-
I believe we summed it up. We were talking about this yesterday. It hits stuff, but there's way better things
That can hit stuff.
to hit stuff with. Yeah.
And then
Next.
Greninja.
Greninja's
He's the champion.
champion, definitely.
He's the champion on online anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
Pretty good move pull set. I like Water Shuriken's the thing.
Yeah.
The high priority can hit 2 to 5 times.
It's neat they made up a move for him, so.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, they all did actually.
That's true.
Spiky Shield and then what did Delphox get in? No, didn't he get some crappy fire move? It was like Mystic Fire, but it sucked.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Anyways,
Not worth
pretty
talking
fast. He has a split and attack and special attack, so you can use him for whatever. He's also got spikes, so he's a pretty good spiker.
right, and toxic spikes. He's a dual
And
spiker.
his Protean is the best of the three.
Protean
boss.
Dope. I don't know what they were thinking when they gave Delphox Magician and then they gave Greninja Protean. 'Cause Protean's amazing.
Yeah.
It is.
For you filthy casuals, Protean, when you use a move,
It changes your typing.
it changes your typing to that move before it happens. So you
You
basically
always get stabbed.
You get stabbed, and you can adjust. So somebody's trying to hit you with an electric attack, you can say use spikes.
You can
and
play around the
It's
meta.
really cool.
Next.
There's the bearded bunny.
The bearded bunny. But if I may go back
Yeah.
to Greninja for a second, 'cause
No.
the bearded bunny is stupid.
Yes.
Well, bearded bunny's okay, but Greninja's one of the few Pokemon from this gen I'm fairly certain is OU.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I think that was
That's-
important to mention. Use it,
that's right.
get used to it.
Digger's bee is the.
Diggersby has sheer force.
Does it?
Yes,
I
it does.
believe so.
Yeah, no, it has huge power.
Huge power. Okay, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Much better, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. Diggersby feels like the replacement for Azumarill, who
Yeah.
was definitely moving up to OU.
Yeah.
It's huge power.
But he's normal typed, so he's weak to fighting.
And he doesn't fight ghosts.
So, yeah. Well,
He's immune to ghosts.
Yeah.
So-
So, I mean,
I don't know. There isn't much to talk about, and
It's-
he's not going to be in anything.
No.
He might be UU because of huge power.
maybe.
He's not going to beat out Azumarill with the new fairy typing.
He's
so.
kind of like Talonflame in that it seems like an attempt to make that classic starting Rattata usable, but,
Yeah, but
we'll see.
We'll see.
No sucks.
Speaking of starters that are usable, it's the starter bird, Talonflame.
Talonflame.
So this is another. I
This is
think
an interesting one.
This is an interesting.
Fireflying.
We
Fireflying.
Sean wrote on the secret McDonald's napkin because we
Yes.
were talking about this. He wrote down 6 Pokemon that were going to be the ones we're really going to be talking about.
What do with that napkin?
Greninja was the first one. Talonflame was the second one.
Yeah.
The only reason we're really talking about Talonflame is its ability, Gale Wings.
Gale Wing, because it screws
Annoying
up.
as shit.
It screws up a lot of things, especially my favorite Trick Rooming, because he always takes
So
priority
that's it.
against me, even if I have the Trick Room set up.
Yeah.
So it's annoying. However, he is 4 times weak to Stealth Rock.
He gets
That's
owned by that.
huge.
Well, if you're going up against a team that will set up Stealth Rock, which is just about every team nowadays,
Yeah.
you're going to get boned.
He does get
have
priority roost.
Priority Roost is cool. I didn't think of that for some reason, but we were playing Showdown today, and someone used it, and I thought that was. I was like, oh, Priority Roost. I mean, it's frail anyways.
Right.
But he was healing off the Stealth Rock damage that he would get every time.
But that's just prolonging.
He's still going to get hit back right down to it. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I think we were discussing him versus Staraptor, who's going to be
Right.
the best starter bird. Staraptor's got Intimidate, Close Combat, better typing.
Intimidate's pretty good ability.
Yeah, and it's not as good as Gale Wings, but because Gale Wings is gross. But me personally, I think Staraptor's better. That's just me.
Next.
Yeah.
So we got Pavilion, Dragon Lord as he's better known.
We're right.
Dragon Lord.
Pavillion's interesting because
He's interesting.
I was reading about him. He's actually he is actually he's not good.
And he's 4 times weak to Stealth Rock again.
Well, yeah, but he's got compound eyes, I think, right?
Yeah, he's got compound eyes.
He's got Sleep Powder.
Yeah.
He has Hurricane, which is a very powerful flying move, but it's really low accuracy, which is boosted by
compound eyes.
And he has Quiver Dance.
Okay.
All right.
Not bad for a starter butterfly.
No, not
again.
bad.
True. Just don't see him do anything in meta. Like he
I
doesn't
get-
need to use during the
'cause-
game.
Yeah.
But I've heard discussion. Butterfree is actually an RU, I believe, right now, because it has Quiver Dance. They gave it Quiver Dance. This is better than Butterfree, basically in every conceivable way.
So you?
Probably not UU.
Probably
Probably
just
RU.
replacing-
We'll replace Butterfree in RU.
Okay.
So not just another thing on the NU shit pile. So
Yeah. Pyroar.
Pyroar.
Got that swagger.
That swagger. Pyroar, I think is pretty bad.
What? I was gonna say like
Okay.
Do you have? Are
his
you
design
gonna
to
defend?
me. His design to me is awful. Like he looks like some sort of.
I don't get what his eyes are like. Why is his eyes so different colored from the rest of his body?
Why is his mane like a? It looks like a person. Oh, haha! I get what they did.
What?
It's my weeaboo knowledge. It's the character for fire and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah,
Wow,
with
that's-
the kanji. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see it. I get it
Weeaboo
now.
knowledge.
Weeaboo
kicking
knowledge.
I like that it took me that long.
You're a sad weeaboo.
It's just more Pyroar. It was kind of interesting because it's fire normal, which is weird. They pair normal up with stuff. I think it's just more kind of NU garbage. It's
Got anything to say about him?
Then you garbage. I every time I've ever seen it, I'm just completely whoop its ass, and it's looked completely uninteresting to me as a Pokemon to put on my team.
yeah. I think that's a good point. Is that it's pretty boring. I mean, you could even tell just looking at it. There's
Weak to fighting again.
it's just filler, boring shit.
An interesting idea if they want to throw it in because they want to line Pokemon.
But I think
Let's do one more.
I mean, it's Flabebe.
Flabébé's going to take a little bit longer than a minute to discuss. If it was another Pyroar.
I feel like we'll...
Pyroar 2.
I feel like...
Pyroar 2.
The electric
Female
Boogaloo.
Pyroar.
Dude,
The electric Boogaloo.
The fairy Bugaloo, Florges.
Yeah.
Florges.
First fairy type you encounter, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is. Well, I think you technically get Azurill, but in terms of, like, new ones.
Yeah.
Well, she was kind of one of the... Her and Sylveon, I think, were kind of the face of the type, and are also the only two new ones, besides Xerneas, that I think are worth a shit.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Wait, in terms of fairy typing alone?
Well, in terms of new fairies.
Yeah.
Well, Mawile technically got the fairy typing, and Mega Mawile is pretty badass.
But, yeah,
But
well, it is, but in terms of, like,
The
not...
new fairies.
Ones like...
Okay, new fairies,
Yeah.
shit we've never
Because
seen.
Azumarill, Togekiss, Mawile, not Mawile, but Mega Mawile.
Clefairy, Jigglypuff.
Yeah, all the normal stuff they got it. The point being...
Florges, I think Florges is okay, but I think Florges is just outclassed by Sylveon.
I didn't actually think Florges was any good at all until we played a person using it, and it actually walled pretty well.
It does wall. It walls, but it's functional at what it does, but I think Sylveon's better at doing
what it does.
What it does.
I think they both have Wish. I think they both have Protect. They both have Moonblast. They both have really high special defense.
So it's just outclassed.
I think it's just outclassed. Sylveon has a crappy ability too, but it's better. It's just, I think it's just better.
All right. Next,
so, this is me.
We got a Go-Goat.
Go-Goat. What are your thoughts on Go-Goat, Dennis? You're a big Go-Goat fan.
I rode one once. for the
Was he
weird...
tame or was he wild?
No, because it was actually the farm.
Okay, so
where you actually get on the fucking Go-Go in the game
scripted
and not
sequence.
Dennis himself. Yeah.
I thought you rode a Go-Go.
Yeah.
Well, since my character is supposed to be a personal insert for me, then I guess I did. I mean, my character's just a pair of pants to put
I
on.
think he's good to ride, but he won't ride you to victory.
No.
Right.
I think we're kind of being harsh on Go-Go. I think he's a little bit better than...
You think he is?
He's bulky.
He is bulky.
He's
He's bulky. I mean, he's not like... He's not... I mean, he's not Love Disc.
No.
For fuck's sake. I mean, he's fine.
Don't talk shit about Love Disc.
I would think he'd probably be NU. He could make RU. Maybe he'll surprise me.
Maybe.
He's got Horn Leech and Leech Seed. He's got Roar. He's got Protect.
That was my.
That was
it was a
your
good
moveset.
So
what's it's got a pretty
Sap
useless...
Sipper is not too bad.
Sap
You
Sipper's
can swap into water attacks, or is it grass?
It's grass
attacks.
Grass attacks.
Grass Pelt's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
That one's dumb.
So
I'd say we can move on. It's
Did
like
you
maybe RU.
no, there's really nothing I have to say about Go-Go.
All right, so Pangoro.
Pangoro is a very interesting one in my book. The parting shot that it gets is actually really nice.
Yeah. I was so sad about Pangoro.
It's slow as
I
piss.
was so excited.
I
It
know.
was a panda.
It has a cool design. It's got the cape
It
with
looks
the...
dope. But...
It's got the Ronin...
Dennis was here. We were...
leaf.
Me and Dennis, we were doing some experimentation with Pangoro. We were trying to make it work with a choice scarf.
No.
And I was trying to make it work without one, with leftovers. It's kind of a tank. I was trying to do band. It just...
You want it to work, but it just can't.
wanted to work so bad, but it's got a good typing. You know, because when I came in, I was like, okay, it looks badass. It's got a cool typing. Its stats just need to be okay. And its move pool needs to be decent. Its move pool is okay. This is definitely an okay move pool, but its stats are not very great.
It's horrible.
53 speed. I mean, I wasn't expecting a panda to be fast, but...
He's slower than Tyranitar.
Yeah.
Which is pretty pathetic. And, yeah, so he's never going to sweep.
No, he'll never sweep.
And he's just not bulky enough to tank.
I mean, you could do some crazy baton pass shenanigans, but at that point you're just cheating.
What's way more work, I
don't
think.
think even
cheating
me
yourself.
like championing the use of Trick Room. I there's no use for him in a Trick Room.
His
No.
Tyranitar's going to be way better in a
Yeah,
Trick Room than he
might
is.
as well.
He's
a good HM whore, though.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. His HM horning actually got me through the game. So props to.
I would say
Thanks,
maybe RU. Maybe RU.
Maybe.
Probably RU. I mean, he's okay. He's not total
I don't
garbage,
know.
but...
In you.
Again, you.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, unless you can fit some really thin niche
Speaking of NU,
Who's next?
Furfro.
Oh
Yeah.
This thing's boss, dude. It tanks. It's got a good ability. It halves all physical damage.
That would actually be pretty good for physical wall.
Yeah, it would. I think
Yeah.
Ferrothorn would like that.
So
Too
it's
bad
a good
it
thing
didn't
his
get it.
defense is so high. Furfro.
What is his defense?
60.
60.
So why does it have an ability that would be really great if it were a wall, but it's actually
It's not a
really
wall.
shitty? If it were a wall.
Game
If it
Freak.
were a wall, that would be insane for a tank to have.
I'm calling it Mega Furfro.
I
They're
was
gonna up
running.
his
I
defense
was
by
running.
20,000
I was running a
points.
pretty
20,000.
pretty sweet rest talk set on it when me
Yeah.
and Sean were playing, and
The spec
it
ops
didn't
days.
do anything, but
Yeah.
it surprised him because he switched into my sweet sleep talked return.
Yeah, Sleep Talk Return. Stab.
Its move pool's pretty bad, which is weird for normal type. Normal types usually have sweet move pools, but this one's
To compensate for the bad typing.
yeah, it's just got return and rest and sleep talk and nothing. It's got
So,
Thunderwave.
Everybody's
Ooh.
got that.
Definitely NU.
Yeah. Next.
Meowstick.
This is what if I believe, your rival keeps using against you.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
game.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think I know anybody that actually used this Pokemon.
That's that one Pokemon that I keep one-shotting. The first Pokemon she sends out, the first Pokemon I put in the ground.
Put it in the ground. This is buried.
Esper is really creepy. That's a thing.
Yeah, because its ears like fold out. I was
It's
like,
got
what the?
huge, huge eyes.
Well, normally I never let it attack because I just beat the shit out of it.
Right.
And then once it actually survived one of my hits and it like actually did an attack animation, I was horrified.
In terms of meme Pokemon, I think it's Uber. So
The Meowstick is, to me, it's sort of Game Freak's second attempt to do a Nidoran male-female split. Now that they have a gender system, they can actually do that.
Yeah.
So the male actually gets a couple different moves and gets its own ability, and the female does too.
Oh, cool.
The female gets competitive.
yeah, it does.
The male gets prankster.
That's not
It
too
does
bad.
not seem fair, though.
Yeah.
Why would anyone use...
Competitive.
I mean, competitive is like, okay, that's a pretty...
But prankster.
Prankster. That's okay, so it's a prankster Pokemon.
I like
so,
that it looks
Double
like
standards, man.
it looks like
Double standards.
they ripped off Umbreon's
They did.
thing for
They-
the male Meowstick.
The color palette and everything.
Yeah.
Like the design.
Next.
If I may just one more, it does not have a very good moveset for prankster.
No.
So it's okay. It'll probably be...
That's
All
why
you
we're
guys
laughing.
hoping out there for that Meowstick prankster set?
It might be like a decent prankster in RU, but I think Whimsicott's in RU, so it's probably gonna be like an NU prankster. So that's about it.
That's
Here's
why we're
the one
laughing.
everybody's waiting for, though. Aegislash.
Aegislash.
Okay.
Better known as
So
Rapier.
all right, we have 3 minutes left, and this is all gonna be taken out by talking about fucking Aegislash.
Probably. I'm
So-
just gonna go ahead and just drop the phone.
So oh yeah, let's just
King-
talk about that until the thing.
King
ends.
Shields. Well,
Okay, so people, if there's anybody watching, they're probably about to be like, "Oh man, they're
gonna
talk
talk about
Aegislash,
Aegislash.
so cool." I think Aegislash is really overhyped.
yeah.
Right.
I don't think he's that great.
Well, we've done some tests with it.
Yes.
It's not as impressive as you think it is. That defense and special defense, while it's in shield mode, it's extraordinarily high.
It is.
However, it still gets two-shot.
It's usually going to get two-shotted by anything because it's HP's ass.
It
It's
is.
HP's 50s,
And
60s.
that's what I think it's
yeah, let me
70.
check that real quick.
Because a lot of people don't expect that. They think the defense will just compensate.
60.
Yeah,
It's 60,
It'll
yeah.
overcompensate for its
That
entire
is
health
shit.
pool. It's shitty. though.
Shit HP.
And you have to put EVs into that to actually make it really viable.
Yeah, and it's it's gonna, if it takes an earthquake, it's gonna get two-shotted by most things.
Yeah.
I think
It
if-
takes Fire Blast only like one hit
it-
in shield mode.
Yeah.
it will occasionally get one-shotted by Fire Blast in shield mode,
Yeah.
depending on what it is.
And if you get caught with
Overheat
your
Torkoal's gonna kill
well,
it.
yeah, if you get caught with your pants down when you get into sword mode, you're kind of boned.
The thing gets just owned by taunt.
Owned.
Taunt, it can't do anything.
Well, at least if you're going to go up and use a King Shield setup,
True.
if that's all you're going to be using, if you get taunted, you're boned.
Because we did figure out one legitimate use, and that was in my Generation X
the
Trick Room.
Trick Room,
It
yeah.
it actually had 3 attacks and
Yes.
Swords Dance, and that was actually really good. It wouldn't get shut down by taunt, you don't need, because once you get the trick room set up, you can switch into something.
Yeah.
Because he can take a hit in blade and shield form, and then just start
Yeah.
gunning and
dealing all the damage.
Yeah.
We were discussing this earlier. Is that it's got the 160
Yeah.
attack, special attack, which both of those are one of those is going to be worthless depending on what you're running.
Right.
And then the speed is shit. It's once again it's like 60 or something.
Right.
It's balls. If one of those 160s had went to speed, this thing would be insane.
Yes.
well, he'd be Uber.
It'd probably be Ubers, but it's so slow. So you're gonna have to
Trick room.
you're
or
gonna
get
trick
to go
room, or
first.
you're gonna have to do Shadow Snake.
True. Shadow Snake's used quite a bit on it.
And
But
it's just not. It's not gonna hit as hard as you think it's going to.
I think we're about dry on time.
yeah, that's it for that one.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to stop talking about Egg Slash, but I think it's pretty
Sorry.
overrated.
It's
Right.
pretty overhyped.
There's not much more to talk about, really. Because
After Egg Slash, what else do you
like,
have
it's
to
got a
talk
great
about?
move pool, I suppose, in terms of attacking. It's just
It's okay.
you've got
It's
to
okay.
It's just not very
dance
versatile.
around its speed thing, and no one uses Trick Room,
No.
so...
It can be hard to play around, but I don't think it's. I think it's too gimmicky. So
It is.
Aromatisse
all right,
and Slurpuff.
Slurpuff. Yeah, I think we
about the
can
same.
just talk about both of them at the same time because they're both kind of walls, I guess.
I mean, that's probably about the only thing they can do.
Yeah. I believe the only difference between the two was Aromatisse basically does not get Wish.
And
Was
it's
that what-
a lot slower.
Yeah, I'd say Slurpuff's clearly better. They can Wish Pass okay, or Slurpuff can.
Yeah. The rest of it's just...
Yeah, they're pretty whatever.
They have a pretty high health pool to do that.
Yeah. I mean, they're okay. And you probably both of them.
They both have... The only abilities they have are team-based, so they're
Yeah,
worthless
they're
in
pretty
single.
worthless.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next.
So, Malamar, he's...
Malamar's interesting.
Man, well, definitely, it's the contrary is what makes him.
Yeah.
The contrary is cool, but when I saw that he got superpower, that's when it got interesting.
That makes him kind of sexy, of a sexy option. But taking a look at his stats,
His stats are pretty mediocre.
kind of takes away from that.
And, I mean, in practice, the superpower, he's just not bulky enough to set up long enough.
Well, yeah. And Topsy Turvy would be kind of cool too.
It's also a cool move. It's like Parting Shot, where it's a cool move.
Yeah.
Kind of put on a mediocre Pokemon.
Let's slap somebody with that. They can't set up, and if they're going to set up, and you're somehow faster than them, they're just going to start dicking themselves.
He cannot. He can't unload enough damage on the first superpower, and he's just not fast enough, I think, to sweep.
And he can't take that many hits.
And we were talking about using him on Trick Room, but
Yeah, we tried that.
even then, he's a little bit too fast to be played on Trick Room, I think. He works relatively well, but he's not like abysmally slow either.
No.
I mean, his speed stat's 73, so...
And he's weird because he looks like a special attacker, but he's physical and uses a superpower and just doesn't have a great move pool. And he's okay. He's interesting. Maybe are you? I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Depends.
Depends.
Barbacle.
Barbacle.
So I think it's barbarical, as in like barbarian.
But
Yeah,
Barnacle.
Barbarical. So I fucking hate the I hate the design. I think it looks like ass.
It's got the hand,
Like it,
Yeah, it does not look as bad as the first one. The first one looks like shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a Shell Smash dude. The typing's not good.
No.
Basically he would be in direct competition with Cloyster.
Yeah.
They both have a pretty good ability in Skill Link and Tough Claws. They both have Shell Smash. I think Cloyster's just way better.
Yeah, Cloyster's...
Just probably going to overdo it.
Yeah. Like, I can't
do it.
Maybe UU if it's real lucky. I don't know if there's a really good Shell Smasher in UU or not. I don't know.
Maybe. And we'll
Shell Smash rules obviously, but it's not that great.
This next Pokemon, I think, is probably maybe not the most interesting, but the one that's taking the most effort to determine its abilities, or its ranking, is Dragalg, or Dragalge.
Dragalg.
The amount of time it takes to know how to pronounce his name is the same amount.
I always thought it was Dragolage for some reason, but then I noticed it's very odd. I can't.
I thought they were going for like algae, like
Like dragon and algae, like drag.
Yeah, it's a
Dragalge.
Dragalge.
But he's seaweed, and algae's.
I don't know.
Okay,
whatever.
You
know what he is. His picture will be here-ish or somewhere. I don't know.
It's got what poison point in terms of abilities.
Its abilities aren't very good.
Adaptability is the best one.
Adaptability is good though. It's weird because he's a tank.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got
Straight
sweet
up,
defenses.
He's just a tank. I have had two experiences, not two exactly, but two different kinds of experiences.
Right.
Fighting Dragalge, whatever. Yeah. Either I just stomp his ass, or he gives me a really hard time.
That's weird.
That's
when you faced my choice scarf.
Right, with my piece of shit. Now, obviously, you wouldn't actually run a scarf on him. He's just not fast enough to use the scarf. Specs, though, with Meteor, with adaptability, could be pretty good.
Yeah.
I just think Latios and Latias are better than he is. I think that's the problem.
I think that's what you're going to encounter with a lot of this new gen. There's always going to be a Pokemon that kind of outdoes them. His
typing's interesting, but and Latias and Latios have Levitate, whereas he kind of has bad abilities. Though he does have adaptability. Actually, I keep forgetting about that, but that is a sweet thing for him. But his stab coverage is kind of mediocre, and I mean he does get. He can own fairies pretty hard, I guess, but...
it's interesting because he's a dragon, so he's got that...
Yeah. He gives me the vibe of a really solid UU Pokemon. That's what he does for me.
That's fair.
And then the next one's my personal favorite Pokemon. I mean, we've had a shared favorite and a later one, but this is my personal favorite, is Clowitzer. I really like this guy. In my Trick Room team, as we've been talking about quite often, I set up 5 Pokemon of this gen because I just wanted... It was an interesting gen to try and
test out.
Because his speed is low, but he's got some really good special attack, and his ability Mega Launcher paired with his move pool, which is set up for Mega Launcher.
What is the base special attack on the thing?
120.
120 that's quite solid. Yeah, very very good.
And it gets what
Aura Sphere, and the pulses.
Okay.
Pulse, Dragon Pulse.
It doesn't get Hydro Pump for some stupid reason.
It does not get Hydro Pump. And Water Pulse sucks, so you put Scald on it, but.
He seems to be like in that seems like a very solid UU Pokemon.
Yeah.
Essentially, I think he's got a really good move pool.
I'm gonna call that Dragon Poison D.
The Poison D.
Yeah, the Poison D.
To me he seems he's got a really good move pool.
Yeah.
I think his stats are okay. Mega Launcher works really well with him. He was obviously designed around the ability.
Yeah.
He's not so tanky, but his defenses are 88 and 89.
I mean, that's not bad. That's
bad.
Cool. What's the HP?
71.
It's usable.
It's a usable bulk. I mean, like it's not great, but it's okay.
Yeah. I've used him to minorly tank on my Trick Room team. He can usually take out 2 people before getting killed.
I mean, Water's a good defensive typing.
It is.
So, yeah, he's okay. I think he'll be pretty good in UU. I think in terms of offensive water types, Gyarados is clearly better.
Yeah.
Special wise,
it's another better water special Pokemon. Vaporeon.
I would say even Vaporeon's probably maybe a little bit better because I think
much tankier.
Tankier.
Yeah.
And I think the thing's special attack's like 115 or something.
So it's right there.
It's in that area.
The only difference is it has Mega Launcher.
It's got this like hydration and it's very tanky. I would say I think it's outclassed in OU, but I think it seems like a solid UU Pokemon potentially.
It's really interesting to me because when you add it all up, it's like his stab, and then with if you did Water Pulse, so that's the only one that he gets stab on. But you add it all up, like he gets if it's Water Pulse, you get his stab. His
60 power
Mega Launcher.
60 powers, and now it's 90 for the stab, and now it's...
Because it's a bummer, because I have heard...
I mean, it doesn't matter too much, but then just keep adding up with Life Orb and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was a rumor before, when in the dark ages of the week after the game came out, that it was getting Shell Smash.
Right,
and that would have been amazing.
One of those internet rumors that...
it kind of would have made sense to give it some Shell Smash. The problem with it is that it doesn't really have any. It doesn't have any priority moves, and it doesn't have any good setup moves.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of Trick Room, it's awful. I've seen
Yeah.
no one running it. I'm the only one that's ever run.
I don't think I've ever seen a Clawitz there. Depending on how popular, I do think that we've been talking about how weird Trick Room is and nobody runs it. I think it's going to be more popular this gen because weather is not that great.
Yeah.
So weather and Trick Room are now essentially the same thing. So yeah, in a Trick Room, I think it's pretty good. Particularly if you're doing a UU Trick Room, I think it'd be something worth looking at.
Yeah. Anyway, what's our next one?
Next one's Helioptile. Or Heliolisk, as is.
Okay, so we're running out of time, but this one's a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
It's basically
He's pretty fast.
this thing would be OU last gen, is what I will say. It's got a lot of cool weather-based stuff.
Dry skin,
Solar
power.
Solar power. What's the last one?
Sandvale's the other one, so that's going to be...
All three of them. I mean, Sandbell's illegal, but all three of them. It's clearly designed to work in weather. It could work in sun. It could work in rain. It would have
Healing.
It would have healing in rain, and would also have 100% accurate thunder.
Nice.
I just don't think, and this is actually something we'll cover when we get to Gudra, and that Gudra also seems to be designed around weather. It's just not going to be as good.
Right.
Because they nerfed weather. He also is the normal type. Like, I don't know why they did that so much in this generation side to counter ghosts, but he's also going to be weak to fighting now, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. The fighting weakness is nasty. It's much more relevant than a ghost immunity is, I would say. Because most ghost types carry fighting moves anyways.
So this is one of KJ's going in favorites to X.
Tyrantrum. Yeah.
Tyrantrum. Well, okay. First of all, he's a T-Rex with a beard, which I thought was dope.
Yeah, it is pretty dope. In terms of design,
he's awesome. I love my dragons. I know you were saying they're kind of played out, but I love my fucking dragons. So it's like my favorite typing. Not just because they're powerful. I just like the way they play. I like smashing heads with head smash, which it does get.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of potential.
Rockhead is its power.
Strong Jaw is actually a pretty good ability because it gets all of the elemental fangs.
Oh, right. Cool.
Yeah, as egg moves, I believe.
I would have figured that would have given you better crunch and bites and
because it has crunch.
Yeah.
It has
thunder, ice, and fire.
Thunder, ice, and fire, and poison fang, which has been buffed to be the same as.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, as the other ones. So it's got those. So it could with. Poison Fang, it could really destroy some fairies.
And it's dragon typing?
It's dragon rock typing.
Okay.
It's got Rock Head, which prevents recoil, and Head Smash, which is a huge recoil move that's a 150 power rock move.
Which means that it's going to completely...
It would get no recoil on it and stab.
And completely fucking
so the thing could go insane.
Yeah.
It's what's its base attack?
121.
I imagine
really solid.
If you had Choice Band or something like that,
you could start destroying it. It gets Dragon Dance.
Nice.
It gets,
you have to Life Orb.
It gets Stealth Rock. It seemed like my kind of Pokemon. It's about setting up and destroying.
As an interesting factor, Stealth Rock doesn't do any damage, right? So therefore, it doesn't get any initial damage. But does it have a stab on Rock type?
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
it applies the weaknesses and the resistances, but it just doesn't get stabbed on the Stealth Rock.
Okay.
The problem with it was
the problem
speed.
with it is that it is slow. Like most Pokemon in Gen 6. It's fucking slow.
I mean, it's not super slow.
It's not unusably slow because its speed is
the same as Breloom 70.
I think what they intended for people to do is because I sort of noticed a lot of the gym leaders and a lot of the trainers and stuff to be using the newer Pokemon, so they wanted you to grab the newer Pokemon and play them against other trainers and stuff like that.
Tyrantrum just has everything going for him, and I'm so sad because he's so cool, and I wanted to use him a lot. He's so dope, and I wanted to use him, and he seems to have everything going for him, but
the speed.
Rock typing
is a bad.
And the speed wouldn't even be that big of a deal because he has Dragon Dance, so that wouldn't actually be that big of a deal.
No, yeah.
And as we were discussing, 70 speed is actually a little bit faster than you think it is.
It is.
But what are his defenses? And it's HP. What's his bulk?
Yeah. It is 82 HP, 119 defense. That's great. 59 special.
And the rock typing, which is a horrible defensive type, he just cannot take hits worth of shit. Yeah. He cannot.
From special hits.
Or really anything because the rock typing.
So what specific move would really fuck his day?
Like any fighting move would fuck him up. Fairy moves fuck him up.
The superpower fighting move?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it would just
superpower
completely
destroys him. Ice beam.
Focus Blast would.
Focus Blast would decimate him. Ice beam would destroy him. He, we were playing it, and I used Tyrantrum on my first thing because I think Tyrantrum's badass.
Right.
And I wanted to test him, and he just didn't work.
He's
Gyarados is so good because Gyarados has the bulk to set up
and intimidate.
Yeah, it's not like a huge look at its stats. It's got bulk, it's got intimidate, it can set up. And then but Tyrantrum just cannot Dragon Dance worth of shit.
You could barely get one in, if that.
Yeah.
And he's still not fast enough.
And he still doesn't hit hard enough after one Dragon Dance. You're gonna need at least 2.
2, 3.
He's definitely not the next Gyarados. I think he's really, really, really cool, but
high hopes.
High hopes. Are you maybe?
Are you?
Maybe you if he's really lucky.
Really lucky. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good ability.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the other dinosaur, Auroras.
I liked Auroras too coming in.
It seemed pretty cool.
Yeah. Tyrantrum I thought was badass in terms of its design. Auroras, I like the design of Auroras too, and I thought its ability was really cool.
Yeah.
Refrigerate. Right?
Yeah, because I was like, you can start,
putting meat inside of it.
Throwing off. You can start throwing around ice type returns.
Yeah,
and stuff.
return or Giga Impact.
Yeah, or something like that, which
would
be a little dirtly in terms of Giga Impact or Hyper Beam or something. But it's there. That's kind of cool.
I mean, it's like a massive ice attack that would shut down.
If they they of course I believe Aurora suspect more for special, of course.
Yeah,
and there's no great. If they gave the thing Boom Burst, that would be insane.
God.
But why would they give it Boom Burst?
No, yeah.
It would be illegal in it.
Like the design was pretty cool too.
Auroras?
Yeah.
I really like Auroras.
Yeah.
I think these are probably my favorite fossils they've ever done.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a bad choice between the two.
Well, they're actually based off of kind of dinosaurs
we
get.
And Auroras, it seems to have potential again, because there's that water move that hits, or the ice move that hits water types super effectively.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Which is a cool idea, and
because it makes sense.
But, okay, here's what they did. This is classic Game Freak shit. I was like, when I looked at the Pokemon, I was like, this was a Game Freak moment. It's a defensive Pokemon with a rock ice typing.
Rock and ice, which are...
That is actually, we were looking this up, it is the worst defensive typing in the game.
It's got piss in terms of defensive typing.
I mean, ice only resists itself. And it's weak to 4 different things. It is... number-wise, the worst. Fairy Steel is the best. Rock Ice is the worst. So why would you build a defensive Pokemon? It's class. It's just classic Game Freak.
Speed is 58.
Yeah, I mean it's in.
I think it's
because we'll talk about Avalugg here later. They did the same thing.
I think Game Freak just has sometimes they just find a Pokemon and they just want to give it flavor and they just throw it on there and, they don't get it.
Like they gave
completely
the flying Rotom Levitate and stuff like that. I mean, it's just it's a classic Game Freak.
It just completely destroys Pokemon though. That's a Pokemon you could have actually started using.
It could have been a sweet offensive Pokemon. It really could have.
It just fucked itself.
But it's slow again, like everything else.
I mean, it's ice and it's a rock.
So could you just before we move on, could you roll down its stats?
Yeah, real quick.
It's got 123 HP.
That's pretty boss.
That's
with 72 defense and 92 special defense.
Jesus
There's
Christ.
not enough defense.
Speed is
58, and then attack is 77. Why does it need that much attack?
Yeah.
Special attack.
Choose one or the other. Special attack 99. Not good enough.
It's got amazing HP. I mean, I get the concept of making I guess it's a Brachiosaurus or something.
Mm-hmm.
I get making that bulky, but don't do Ice Rock.
No,
that just is nonsensical. But yeah,
if anybody from Game Freak watches this, do not do Ice Rock.
You guys are watching.
Yeah,
check it.
Game Freaks.
No,
hire me.
Yeah,
you should.
Yeah,
Sylveon. Actually, yeah, they should because we're gonna. You're gonna see one day.
We're gonna get there.
Sylveon.
The new fairy EV
I
form.
think this is a good evolution. I think it is.
It's probably the best pure fairy of this generation.
Yes, it is. It's the best. It's the best new fairy.
Right. Right.
And it's okay. So EVs always run on a template.
Yeah.
They have 135.
Mm-hmm.
They have a 115.
Yes.
I think a 90, and then some other balls. What is the?
Actually, they changed it up if that's because it's 130 special defense, 110 special attack,
Okay.
95 HP, 60 speed, 65 for attack.
Yeah, okay, that's actually the template. I'm off in my numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
So, okay, an EV is always going to have very skewed but pretty good stats.
Yeah.
So, the special defense, the special defense is 135, and then the special attack is 110.
Yeah.
That's where it needs those to be.
Yeah.
It's actually, I believe, has the same stats roughly as Vaporeon.
Right,
But it's
with
fairy
type.
But it's fairy typing, it's got Wish, it's got Protect, it's got...
Play rough.
Is it going to be better than Espeon and Umbreon at that? Wishing
stuff?
stuff?
Espeon and... what's its health?
Health
is 90.
Yeah, it'll probably be pretty good at doing that. It's...
95.
It's got Heal Bell, it's got Moonblast. I think it'll be a good tank. I think
Yeah.
it'll be a good Wish Passer. It's got a good defensive typing.
Definitely UU then.
I think it could. I think it has the potential of being one of the good evolutions, and I think it has the potential to maybe be OU. It's a pretty good tank. Vaporeon's annoying as shit.
Yeah, as I've seen a couple battles with you.
Because my team routinely gets walled by Vaporeon real hard.
Well, it
Gotta
seems
get
like
that
whenever you
rolling.
get on Showdown, I think shows up. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, I'm always like, it's like him and Rotom Wash.
Rotom Wash is...
Rotom Wash totally, like, that's why Water is a good
Just obliterates the
defensive typing, because like his team just goes walled to hell and back by Rotom Wash.
Next looks like Halucha.
Halucha.
Nice.
Well, do you want to?
we
We only got about a minute left. Do you want to tackle Halucha right now, or you want to just
I mean,
wait until the next one?
I think there's not much to say.
Well, he's kind of interesting because
Fighting Flying.
this is one I've always this is a Pokemon I've always wanted.
Right.
I've for some reason I've been fixated on my Fighting Flying typing. He's pretty fast.
Yeah.
He gets that flying press move.
He's got
we can't figure
Unburden.
that out.
He's got Unburden.
flying press.
You can do acrobatics with him, so he eats the gem and then attacks with the Unburden.
Mm-hmm.
He's okay. I don't really get what he's supposed to do.
The flying press thing is supposed to attack with fighting and flying at the same
So
time.
it's like
I
a
think
double
it's fucking
stab?
worthless.
but it
though.
isn't
But it's
because
not.
we tried it and it didn't super effectively.
I think
He's weird.
you're going to have to do the acrobatic set. He's going to have high jump kick.
Yep.
It's
whatever.
I just think he's really mediocre.
Yeah.
Maybe are you? I don't know.
Dead end.
Dead end.
Dead end.
Dead
We were talking about
He's
this.
a bit of a dead end, if you will.
Sean jokes.
Okay, so we were talking about this
Go on.
earlier. This might be the worst. I can't
Probably
really.
the
This is
worst.
probably the worst fully evolved Pokemon in Gen 6.
Right.
People think it gets evolved into Pikachu and Raichu or something, right?
Yeah, I think
Like
some
the
people were thinking
implication.
something like that.
They do this every time. They do. Here's some stupid thing that looks like Pikachu. Because Pikachu was popular, I guess, and
He's a poster boy.
and
Literally. Oh,
I think the only one that's even been worth a shit was Emolga,
right.
who is pretty whatever himself.
He's just part flying, which helps him out.
This might be the worst Pikachu cousin, as they call them.
Well, let's run down its stats.
Well, yeah.
The stats
His
piss.
highest stat is speed, which is 101.
That's
pretty good.
that's okay.
That's
It's
it's
okay
good, but for
stats.
your best stat,
That's
And,
not.
and like I said, even 101 speed,
Can
it's
be
not.
outspeed.
I'm not like,
his
oh my god,
God.
101 speed.
the only other stat he has that's above 70
Ooh.
is his special attack, which is
Jesus.
81.
What's his BST? Does it say on that?
His BST
Yeah, his base stat total.
it doesn't say,
Oh.
but if you just add it up quickly, it's probably maybe
400.
maybe. I'm gonna say high 300s. Like
I mean, that is ass.
That is
That's
that.
like far fetched.
Well, that's far-fetched levels of shit.
Right.
What does it get in terms of abilities?
Okay, its abilities are stupid. Cheek pouch pickup. Plus, the thing about him is he's part fairy, right? You know, this is the fairy
Yeah,
generation.
very gen.
His special attack is the higher of the two, so you know he's gonna be a special
Yeah,
attacker. The only one fairy move, offensive fairy move, I should say,
Yeah.
that he learns is play rough, which is a physical move.
Yeah, they did not give him Moonblast.
No.
Dazzling Gleam.
And then they did
Draining Kiss,
and then,
maybe?
Yeah, then they did Nuzzle, and they're like, this is the Pikachu, because
Right.
all of the Pikachus
Get
have
Nuzzle.
have Nuzzle now.
Right.
They made that a physical attack. None of them are physical attackers.
No.
Nuzzle's a good move.
And you have to take a tract?
No,
No.
I just put that on mine.
He's doing a thing, and he literally could not come up with 4 decent moves to use.
Right, so I put
Stupid
attract.
attract.
So attract would probably be one part of your moveset.
It's totally worthless.
If you use this worthless
I
Pokemon.
mean, you can nuzzle people's asses though.
This probably. It's just there to be the Pikachu clone.
Pretty much.
It's totally worthless. It sucks.
Dedenne can take down Machamps.
He did take her down to Machamp with it on Showdown. In OU of all
In OU.
things.
You.
It's pretty good.
Because he spammed play rough at it twice.
Yeah. Hit him with 2.
Machamp's defense is ass too. By the
Yeah.
way, it's not very good. At least I don't think it is.
Okay, so consensus, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. Probably the worst Pokemon ever. NU, like the depths of it, it'll be useless in NU.
The last one on the list.
It might be Farfetch'd. I don't know.
No,
Nuzzle.
no.
Just keep nuzzling.
No.
Well, on a one-on-one fight, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm
at least Farfetch has fucking sword stance.
Don't let him set up. Paralyzed, man. Anyway. Carbink.
Okay, so I still don't know. Once again, the
What is the Pokemon?
it'll be down here. I don't know what it is. I don't get what it is.
Right here.
Okay. In terms of design wise, I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem to have much of a face.
No.
It seems to be like some kind of rock rabbit in a bathtub or something. Okay, but anyways, it's Shuckle, basically,
Except
right?
not as good. Yeah, I mean it's got sturdy.
Not as good as Shuckle.
Sturdy.
It's Shuckle, but it ain't as good.
I said it with like so deadpan. I didn't realize how stupid that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's like you were like,
Terrible.
not as good.
I mean,
good
it's
Shuckle.
got it's just I don't know. It's got clearer body and sturdy. It just has no moves.
It doesn't have contrary though. That's what Shuckle has.
Yeah, exactly.
Bug Rock is a shitty typing, but this is classic Game Freak
again.
Basically a defensive rock type.
Right.
Which you
because
can't,
it's a rock, but they made it
They
made it a horrible defensive typing. I don't know why they did that.
You
but
just can't do it.
No, it's like Ice, where they keep trying to make defensive rock types. It's bad.
Why? I don't understand their logic behind it.
I don't.
Are like solid pieces of object, but the thing is, they set it up from the beginning.
But they did that. They made the type matchup chart.
Right.
So they should know.
You would think they would know, but
Do they
apparently
just have a chart that no one looks at? I guess.
I guess they just like, oh, it's rock. They should be defensive, but like you guys did make the typings.
There's not even any. There's no basis for it even being rock.
Because it's like what it's got 150, 150.
Yeah, 150 and 150. But
So it's like Egg Slash and Shield form, but it's
Essentially.
always in that form. And it's got a worse typing.
But
Yeah, it's just Shuckle. Take of that what you will. Basically, I think it has. How was I healing myself with that yesterday? Because I was running. That was my butthole stall team yesterday. Does he get recover or something?
You were wishing into Carbink with Slurpuff.
No, okay, I think it has rest. I think it does have rest.
Is that what you get? Okay.
Yeah.
It probably. Well, I mean,
it gets Moon Blast, but you can't do anything with it.
It's whatever.
It gets toxic. Basically, you're going to be toxicking the stalling out with it. That's about all. That's about all Shuckle can do.
Shuckle, anyway.
So if it gets taunted, it can't do anything, and then you just kill it. It sucks pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's worse. I would say it's worse than Shuckle because
right.
So it's and Shuckle's an NU. So
take that what you will.
Take that.
Next one. Gudra.
Okay.
Okay, Gudra's interesting, and
we kind of rapped on this when we first met it because it's the whatever that name is. I can't think of the name.
Pseudo. It's not really. I don't consider
But
it
isn't.
pseudo. It's a pseudo legendary.
If you
Two
will.
pseudos. The pseudo legendaries have to have two typings. That's a sort of a thing. That's there's a lot of Pokemon that people think are pseudos, like Haxorus or whatever, but they don't have dual typings. I don't think Haxorus actually has a 600 base stat total, which they also have to have. But Gudra.
600? You mean 500, right?
No, 600.
600.
They have a 600 base stat total.
I don't even know Gudra has 600.
So why is this considered?
Gudra, I added it up. Gudra.
Okay, so pseudo legendary.
Pseudo legendary, but it does have the 600 base stat total. It's got 3 good abilities.
Gooey, which is really nice.
Gooey's really good. Now, this thing could have been this is like Helioptile. This thing would have been good last gen because it had hydration.
Okay.
And hydration, I believe,
For
heals status effects in the rain.
So
And it has rest.
rain teams.
Yes, this is what Vaporeon did last gen. It was a hydration tank. So basically, it could heal itself. It's got, I think it's a special defense is 150, which is
150
absurd.
for a dragon. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And it's 100 and 110 attack and spec.
Yeah, so it's got a pretty good move pool.
It's got 80 speed too, which is not bad.
That's not bad considering this gen.
It's got yeah, considering this gen, yeah. I mean that's a pretty
good point.
Yeah.
It's got Dragon Pulse. It's got Flamethrower, I believe. I know it has Thunderbolt.
It's all good moves.
Yeah, it's I honestly as good as Gooey is, which is a hidden ability, obviously, and that drops the speed when
Physically
it gets hit.
Yeah.
Which Sean and his Trick Room team loves.
Right. Just like
you just get speed boosts when you hit
like a
it.
sticky web.
Yeah.
So, are you?
No, not
you. No, definitely not.
You.
Definitely at least you. You might even be BL, but I think this thing would have been pretty good last time. I just don't see it. It's just not that great. It's not like it's impossible to break or anything.
Right.
But the other one is Sap Zipper, which gives it immunity to grass type moves.
Right.
So they're all good. It's I think it's a little bit. It's too little, too late. Kind of. I don't think Rain's going to be as prevalent, and even then, I think Vaporeon's going to do its job better. So
Well, yeah.
So next
we'll
one.
probably do one more here.
Yeah.
I think this might be in the running for the best fairy over Sylveon.
Oh,
It is Klefki.
Klefki.
Klefki,
Oh yes, I forgot about
which is a
Klefki.
really good typing.
He gets Prankster.
Fairy Steel. He has Prankster.
This is an annoying asshole.
Right.
Klefki, which is
I
what
was
pranksters
using-
are supposed to be. I hate Klefki.
I was using him on my team. He gets
Horrible.
He gets priority sub. Which,
Priority spikes.
yeah,
priority
or if you want to
spikes.
run that, priority's toxic, priority anything, but he gets sub.
Yeah,
and
He gets
priority
sub,
over
which is
it.
neat. He gets toxic. Did he get what? Did he get Will-O-Wisp?
Draining. Yeah, he gets. Well, I don't know. I don't.
Jesus
He
Christ.
gets draining kiss. That was his other thing because his speed is 75, which is not bad.
Not bad. Again,
Does
considering this
does
gen.
he get Thunder Wave? Do you
Yes.
recall?
Yes.
Do you
I don't think he gets Will-O-Wisp. I don't.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, it's not a huge deal.
He gets pretty much every priority.
Is he
stat.
Ghost
Or,
Fairy?
No,
Steel.
he's
Fairy
Fairy
Steel.
Steel.
every
Fairy Steel.
status move. pretty much.
Do you recall if he had Taunt?
I don't.
I don't think-
No,
you
don't
I
think
would have
so?
run it on him
Okay.
if he had.
Um,
He gets nasty plot, but not.
because I believe Sableye has Taunt. Because that's his main competition. Is going to be Sableye.
Yeah.
I think this guy can go the distance. What's his stat spread there?
75 speed, 87 special defense, 91 defense, 80 and 80 in attack and spec defense, and then 57 HP.
That's pretty pissed.
The HP is pissed, but the rest of it,
No.
I like they
Sorry.
they should have switched the HP and the speed. You don't really even need the speed on the thing.
No, he's a
No.
prankster. Why would you do that?
I think he has foul play too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pranksters love foul play.
Oh yeah.
That was killing Trevenant. So
Yeah.
Just.
I think he's a little turd. I think he has the capability to be
he's
the
a-
best prankster.
He's
in
a
the game.
wily son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Get it?
I think he has the capability of being the best prankster in the game, but we'll just have to see. UU possibly, maybe even OU.
This is another situation where we can do both at the same time.
Right.
Trevenant and Gorgeist, the grass ghosts.
Yeah, they're pretty similar. I hear people talking about Gourgeist, but I don't hear people talking about Trevenant, and I don't understand. Trevenant seems
Right.
better to me.
He gets what? Hornleech, Leech Seed. He's also ghost typing, so you get Shadow Sneak for priority.
He does get Shadow Snake. He gets Leech Seed.
He gets Will-O-Wisp.
Will-O-Wisp. I think he gets Sub. Does he get
Yeah,
Sub?
you
get
can
sub.
sub.
I think everything gets Sub. So he can Sub Seed. He can
Hornleech.
he can Hornleech for health. He can he's a tank.
And
He can tank and he can wall. I would
his
say.
design is cool because that's what drew me to him before.
Yeah.
Ghost
knowing
Tree.
anything about it.
He,
Yeah, it's pretty
he's
cool.
got a couple of really good abilities
Yeah,
too.
that's his abilities because like comparing him to Gorgeist, the moves are about the same. He can also subseed and do all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. He's got some trick stuff. They both can set up Trick Room, which is nice for me.
Yeah.
What's their abilities? Because I think Natural Cure is actually really, really good on him.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what because when we're comparing them, what at the basic level, what sets them apart and why we believe Trevenant's better
Yeah.
as a whole is Trevenant's abilities are Natural Cure, which is quite nice.
When you switch out, you get the it removes status effects.
Yeah.
Frisk, which is whatever.
Can't be
Especially
useful.
yeah,
Yeah,
not,
it's okay.
when you already have better abilities. It's
Yeah,
whatever.
it's whatever.
And then Harvest,
Harvest,
which is a 50% chance to get your berry back.
unless you're in the sun, which is a 100% chance.
now with this brings us to the interesting part of possibly doing sun shenanigans with Rest and Lumberry.
But since you've kind of gotten the weather teams to get
Nerf,
knocked down,
that's not quite as viable as maybe it would have been, but he definitely would have been
he would have been pretty
quite
boss.
the prick last gen.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Gorgeist gets Frisk and Insomnia, which isn't as
Pick
good.
up Frisk and Insomnia.
What does
Pick up.
Insomnia do?
Just can't go to sleep.
Oh well,
Which means it can't rest itself.
That'd be,
So
it'd be interesting if you could rest and then you just don't go to sleep.
That's why I was asking him. I didn't
Yeah,
actually know how those two.
That would actually be pretty boss.
Yeah, it would. Can just for stat wise, can you compare their respective bulk?
I mean, 85 HP, and at the highest, because this is the other weird thing about Gorgeist.
It can get
Which
bigger
one,
and
yeah.
smaller.
Super's the only one you would ever use.
Okay, so HP is the same, 85, 85. Trevenant has better attack at 110 versus Gorgeist 100.
Not by a big
Trevenant has defense of 76, whereas Gorgeist has 122.
That's pretty boss.
So better defense for
Okay.
Gorgeist.
that. And then special attack is 76, and
Gorgeist's.
no, sorry. Special attack is 65 because you're not going to be running it on Trevenant, and
Right.
58 on Gorgeist.
Okay.
So he's.
You're not going to be running it on either of them. 82 special defense on Trevenant. Gorgeist is 75, about the same.
About the same.
Yeah.
Trevenant has 56 speed, 54 speed for Gorgeist.
So yeah, you're right. They're about the same.
Yeah, but
But
I see why people maybe are looking at Gorgeist more because that defense.
Yeah, that defense
is a lot.
pretty
lot
awesome.
But his
higher.
move pool is worse in terms of being a
It-
tank.
and he gets pretty bad abilities.
His move pool and his
Right.
abilities are worse by a decent margin.
Right.
I don't think the stat alone is enough to offset Trevenant.
I mean that's a pretty impressive defense.
That is.
I'm still gonna give it to Trevenant because I still think he can take hits and then come back with Horn Leech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been a bit of a thorn in my side in cases because trees have thorns apparently, so that's funny.
Some do.
Pippin
and Mary over
I
here.
would say they're both good. I like both of them. I like the typing. I think is cool.
Yeah, that was the cool thing about it.
Are they both? They're both ghost grass.
Right.
Yeah, I would have preferred if they'd done Trevenant or well, presumably Trevenant, and then maybe did another combo with Ghost
Yeah.
as another one. But you know, whatever. We get just random typing. We get two different Pokemon to choose from. So.
Ghost Fairy.
Ghost Fairy would have been cool.
But the next one's up is quite probably the best defense of this generation. Avalugg.
Avalugg gets cursed, bro.
He does get cursed.
Okay, so Avalugg.
That cursed team.
Avalugg's bulk is absolutely fucking insane.
It
If
is.
you would
His base
Base defense.
is 184.
That's ridiculous.
That's
I think that's the highest that anybody's
that
ever
is
done
it. I mean,
in a single step for
like
defense.
That's retarded.
insane. When I spec'd into defense when we were doing the showdown yesterday, the bar was at. Like it looks like it was about to break out of the
Limit
Showdown's UI was not prepared for such epic defense.
How do we do this?
Of course, and then his special defense is 46. And, you know, I don't think there's any type that Ice is really weak against that.
No,
He has to really worry about
Ice
special
is
attacks. Not fire.
Ice is
Not fire at
definitely
all.
definitely the best defensive typing.
I
Right.
think he could tank a fire
in
Yeah, Fair Blast is he can take
Yeah,
those.
yeah, you got
yeah in inverse battles, it's the best defensive typing in the game. So
Oh.
if you're playing that,
Yes.
Avalugg will rule.
What's his health? If he's so beefy.
95, which is okay.
That's pretty.
Exactly.
That's usable.
Like, his attack is already 117, but
That's
he's
pretty
slow. He's 28.
You probably but you see he's got Gyro Ball. He's got Avalanche. He's got Recover, which is nice.
Gyro would be sweet on him.
Yeah. Avalanche also is a 60 ice move that doubles if they move second.
Okay.
So
Well, if they
he's-
get hit, actually, technically.
Yeah, he's got a 120 power
Avalanche.
Sab basically.
Curse can set him up.
He's got Curse.
He's already slow. Anyway.
He's got Recover. He's got Rapid Spin. He seems like he's got a lot of stuff, but to me he's like Aggron.
Except a lot worse.
Well, yeah. In that he is just crippled by over-specialization and a shitty typing.
Yeah.
And the ice typing's bad for him. It just doesn't work. And he's so skewed with that 185 defense.
Yeah, and then nothing for special.
I just don't. He can't do anything. If
they just taken a chunk of that, maybe 30 or 40 of those points, and just added it to his special defense, he'd be a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, Fire Blast is just gonna eat him for breakfast.
Flamethrower's gonna. Ember's gonna eat him.
Ember's gonna eat him for breakfast. Whatever.
Splash will get him.
Splash.
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 Anyway, next guy.
The last one.
This is the last one. We're discussing.
Noivern.
Okay, so Noivern, I'm a little disappointed in.
Why?
Because his special attack is what?
Not that I'm going to defend
97.
Noivern.
97.
Okay.
That's pretty piss poor for a dragon.
Does not hit hard enough. Its speed is
123.
That's
good.
Ridiculous. That's a good speed. It gets Boom Burst, which is cool, I guess.
Yes.
Boom Burst breaks through subs.
Like nothing.
No, it goes through subs. That's the thing. It doesn't
literally like nothing.
It does not say. It does not say that on the thing, but that's a side effect of it. Is that it goes through subs.
So it's
but
immediately.
He also gets the ability Infiltrator.
Infiltrator, which does the same thing, which is why if you're running, you can either run Infiltrator if you want, and don't run Boom Burst, or you can run Frisk, which is actually a better ability than for him, and then run Boom Burst. That's like your thing. Boom Burst is pretty sweet. I wish they gave it to something with, so it wasn't normal and it didn't suck balls.
Right.
He can whip out some pretty good sized Draco meteors, I suppose.
Well, what is he bad in the rest of his stats?
His stats are actually pretty mediocre, I must say.
I mean, his defenses are 80 and 80.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's dead.
His health?
85.
Okay, so yeah, he's pretty.
He's a dragon with barely 400.
That's not really a dragon in my book.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. He can whip out some solid, like I said, some solid Draco meters. Latias is better than him just about every consumable way except for maybe Boom Burst. But Latias gets Levitates. It's a way better ability, and I don't know.
So one last thing. I know we were just like Mega Evolutions, but I mean they're kind of part of this generation. Is there any like standout ones?
Oh yeah, I would definitely say there are some standout ones for me.
For Megas?
Megas.
The Genghis-Khan one. Genghis-Khan looks like it would be completely badass.
Genghis-Khan, to me,
double superpowers.
Could be insane. In terms of ones I know are going to be good, Lucario, because it gets adaptability.
Yes.
Gengar.
Who's overused. He's overrated in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well,
he's getting kicked up to Ubers as soon as...
But he loses Levitate.
Yeah, he does get Shadow Attack's insane. Like
it would be.
What's the other? There's a third one. There's a third one that's really good.
I mean, Mega Mawile is actually really nice. I've been using on my Trick Room team.
Big power makes that thing a force to be reckoned
with. There's a big three.
Mega Aggron?
No, because Mega Aggron is one of those Pokemon that is a unusable Pokemon that's made usable by its Mega. So, same with Mawile. Absol's like that.
Blaziken is the one that got it's just recently got
Blaziken's been buffed. Yeah.
Well, it just got deleted. I can't think of the word.
Banned to Ubers. Banned. I'm surprised Gengar isn't up there yet.
He might. He might.
Shadow Tag is like Speed Boost. Anything that decent that gets it, they kick it up. Because they were, I believe there was something where Chandelure was going to get it, and as soon as it was going to get it, they were going to kick it up to Ubers.
Straight to Ubers.
And Chandelure isn't that great.
No.
So yeah, but those would probably be some of the Megas are good, some of them are basically they're all usable. I would say
that's the run through.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. The Gen 6 rundown.
That's about it.
I'm glad you watched this for
however long.
Shut up. I'm glad you watched this for the 3 hours it presumably has taken, and
thanks for watching.
Less than an hour, I think. But anyway, let's just get this all generated up.
Generated X.
Generated